Hello, my name is Dr. Simon Brownhill, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to the Masters in Education Teaching and Learning Pathway video. Thank you very much for choosing this video. I'd like to share with you an overview of the pathway and talk to you about some of the exciting and distinctive features of it. The pathway is designed for those of you who have an interest in teaching and learning and working with learners in educational settings across the sector. It's particularly suitable if you already hold master's level credits from a teaching qualification, such as a postgraduate certificate in education, and that you want to build on this foundation for your professional development. My name, as I've said, is Dr. Simon Brownhill, and I am the pathway lead for the teaching and learning pathway. And I have worked on the pathway for a number of years and continue to be seriously impressed with the commitment that students have who come on the pathway to learning and teaching. In terms of entry requirements onto the pathway, a good undergraduate honours degree is very important. A lot of the students who come onto the pathway enter with a 2-1 or international equivalent, and they also have at least 1 year full-time professional experience in an educational setting linked to teaching and learning, such as a postgraduate certificate in education or as a qualified teacher. Alternatively, people come with part-time experience over at least a 2-year period. Details about the online application process can be found on the university website. And I do encourage you to follow these so that you can offer a clear, concise, and well-constructed application for our consideration. In terms of the program overall is made up of 180 credits, and 120 of these come from taught units. Typically, this will be made up of 6 units, each of them being 20 credits. And there are some units that can be chosen that have 10 credits. But the units are made up of a combination of both core and optional units. The core units are must pass, and the optional units can be chosen from the suite of units that are available linked to the Masters in Science Education programme. You'll be interested to know that the overwhelming majority of units have no unforeseen examinations, and they are assessed entirely through coursework. This coursework is made up of a number of components and totals 4,000 words for each 20 credit unit. Each of the 20 credit units will require about 200 hours of student input. You can expect to have a number of hours which are linked to taught input, be that face-to-face or through synchronous activity. And there are also 180 hours of additional activities such as guided reading, group work, and the preparation of assessed work. The commitment for a 20 credit unit is usually spread over a 10-week term, and final assessment deadlines usually fall a number of weeks after teaching ends. And there are also formative deadlines that occur during the unit delivery, and they will be clarified by the unit tutors. Once you have the 120 credits, you will then be able to progress to the dissertation stage. This is the exciting 10,000 to 15,000 word dissertation. It's worth 60 credits, and it's an extended report of an individual study which you'll undertake in the final part of your master's programme. The study is unique in the sense that it offers you the opportunity to engage in some depth in an area or issue of professional or intellectual interest, which hopefully will be connected to teaching and learning. So for those of you who are considering to study the teaching and learning pathway full time, your year will look something like 3 units over the autumn term, 3 units in the spring, and in the summer you will have your dissertation. There is an online catalogue of the units that are core to your pathway and also that are optional as well. And you can make an informed decision on the units that you'd like to take and find out when they are available by accessing the online programme catalogue with the university website. For part-time students, you can study this pathway over 2 or 3 years if you wish, and a flexible approach can be taken when choosing select units. For example, the Introduction to Educational Inquiry unit, which is core to all students, not just teaching and learning students. You will have the opportunity to work with a personal tutor to help you put together a timetable that meets your personal and professional needs. Typically, the dissertation will be undertaken in either year 2 or year 3. I would like to stress that as a part-time student, the timetable of delivery of units does change on a yearly basis, and that evening, or what we call twilight teaching, is not always guaranteed. There are select units that are delivered over an intense 3-day period, but it is important for you to be realistic and flexible. You will be required to do a lot of thinking and reading before each of the classes that you undertake. In terms of the teaching and learning pathway, there are some important messages that I would like to share with you. Many students come onto the programme in the hope that they will be able to apply what they learn into an educational context. For those of you who are part-time and are practicing teachers, you do have that opportunity. For full-time students, that is not necessarily the case. And many students wonder why the amount of pedagogy links in the units is not as high as they would hope it to be. It's important to remember that this is an academic degree, and so there is more emphasis on the academic side of thinking and research and theory, as opposed to the pedagogical practices of things that go on in educational classrooms. There are no placements for this programme. There are a range of optional units available to you, and these go across different disciplines. However, there are no guarantees that you will get your first choice. For those of you who have acquired master's credits through a teaching qualification, such as a postgraduate certificate in education, these can be used to contribute to your Masters in Education, Teaching and Learning degree. But do note that this does affect applications for funding in terms of loans. Further information about this can be found on the university website. The teaching and learning pathway is wonderful because its approach to teaching is both interactive and research-based. Classes, be they online or face-to-face, involve content delivery, discussion, debate, reflection, and critical engagement with research literature to not only inform policy, but also practice. In terms of assessment, in class there are formative activities that are set, and there are feedback mechanisms that are designed to support you with your summative assessments. And one of the things that I personally like about the pathway is that we embrace a real suite of assessment types, be they essays, reports, PowerPoint presentations, posters, reflective writing. Coming to the University of Bristol is a good thing. And one of the reasons for that is because there are a number of support mechanisms that are available to help you in your study and your time at the university. We have a wonderful personal tutoring system and a senior tutor to support us in terms of your educational, academic and pastoral needs. If you require support in relation to accommodation, careers, funding and chaplaincy, there are mechanisms to help you in relation to that. And we also have some wonderful counselling and support services for students and also disability services as well. As part of your time on the programme, your voice is very important. In fact, your voice really matters. And one of the things that we encourage students to do on the programme is to get involved in ensuring that the quality of the experience for all students is as good as it possibly can be. We do that by recruiting pathway student reps, who are volunteers who share with academics aspects of the programme that are going well, aspects for consideration, and ways that we can move things forwards. Many students are concerned about their skills development in terms of academic English, and there are a number of support structures in place to be able to help you to develop not only your skills in terms of reading and writing, but also reflection and oracy skills in terms of speaking and listening. At the University of Bristol, we are very clear that if you want to get something out of the programme, you have to put something in. And we actively encourage all students to get involved. There are a range of wonderful activities available for you to develop your personal and professional skills. We have the Bristol Conversations in Education, which is an opportunity for academics, both internally and externally, to share research that is relevant in the field of education to those who are interested in listening about it. School of Education has social events that are safe, and there are University Research Institute events that are available to increase and entice people in learning about different aspects of research that's going on in education. We also have a student society that's specific for education and psychology students. There are also social events that are led, and these are particularly undertaken with the support of pathway reps. We also have a number of research centres in the School of Education, and a recently newly developed one is the Teaching, Learning and Curriculum one. And I do encourage you, if you choose to come to Bristol, to become part of that centre to learn more about teaching, learning and curriculum. There are also faculty events as well, so there's a lot going on. It's just your choice about what you choose and when you choose to do it. I hope that you have found this video useful and informative. Please do give the Masters in Education Teaching and Learning pathway real thought, because it is a wonderful pathway. You are well supported, and for those of you who are interested in teaching and learning, this is definitely the pathway for you. Many thanks.